Hey guys, so in this episode I'm going to be talking about how to travel, specifically fly, with firearms. So I've flown with firearms many times before. I'd probably say, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 times. So having to go through that process 6 to 8 times, getting to my destination and coming back. I will say that each airline has specific rules, but I'm going to be going over like the general TSA rules, but always check one, just for updated TSA rules as they may change, and then just check your specific airline to make sure you're following their specific rules, because they may have some specific requirements that are different from other airlines or different than the general TSA rules. Just make sure wherever you're going and taking your firearm that your firearm is compliant to the laws of that state. And specifically, if you're going to be concealed carrying there, make sure if they are a permitless carry state, or if your concealed carry permit has reciprocity in that state, just make sure you're following those laws. Maybe even like magazine capacity laws. Just always check those. And even if you're not concealed carrying, just make sure that the firearm that you're taking to whatever state you're going to be in, it is compliant with their laws. When you are packing your firearms to travel with them and to fly with them, you need to have your firearm in, well, first you need to declare the bag that your firearm is going to be in, but it needs to be in a hard-sided and locked case. It also needs to be unloaded, so make sure, double check that there's no ammunition in the gun. Keep your mag, don't put your mag in the mag well, keep it out. I do recommend having like a chamber flag or something of the sort to show that it is unloaded without you having to touch the firearm. But make sure it is completely unloaded. Your magazines do have to be in that declared bag, in that hard-sided case with your firearm. And if you have any like firearm parts, like magazines, bolts, things like that, they do have to be in a checked bag. That you can't take those on with in your carry-on bag. You can take optics into your carry-on bag, but honestly, I wouldn't even risk it. I would just keep that with my checked bag, honestly. But they do say on the TSA website that you can take your optic in a personal bag, a carry-on bag. If you are going to be carrying ammunition, then that also needs to be declared, whether or not it is with a firearm, and it does need to be also in a locked and hard-sided case. But you also have to have it in a box that is made to carry ammo. So this could be the original box that your ammo comes in, or you can buy it afterwards. Some people have I don't have one, but some people have specific little plastic boxes that they put their ammo in. But that also works. As long as it's a box that is designed to carry ammo, you're good. Now you can only take a certain amount of ammo. I think that in the past, I think the limit was for my specific airline at the time, maybe 11 or 11 pounds or something like that. But just make sure you check your specific airline's rules on that, and make sure you're weighing your ammo beforehand so you don't have to waste any once you get there or cause a holdup and just spend more time. So it doesn't matter what locks you use to lock the bag or the box, the case, I guess. But some people recommend TSA locks. But also some people say don't use TSA locks because you don't want the TSA agents to be opening your case up without you there. So it's really just a personal preference on what you decide. We have used TSA locks before. We've used non-TSA locks before. I'm leaning towards not using TSA locks, just like I said, so that the agents can't open up your box or your case without you there. But whatever you decide, it doesn't matter what brand it is. So when you get to the airport, first off, you should get there with plenty of time just in case this process takes longer or something, there's issues with something. But you can't check your bag with a firearm ahead of time, like online. You can't do that. You have to, once you get to the airport, go up to an agent at the bag check area and declare your firearm there. But it's a pretty simple process. All you have to do is just go up to them and just say, hey, I have a firearm. I want to declare a firearm. And they have you basically just sign a piece of paper just saying that firearm's unloaded, everything's good, and then they'll just have you put it in the case, close it up. I have had sometimes where they want me to show them that it's unloaded. This is where I recommend having a chamber flag of some sort, just so you don't have to pick up the firearm at all. But that's happened probably like half of the time, maybe even only like a fourth of the time. Typically they just have me put that piece of paper that I signed in the bag, close it up, and I'm good to go. Also, make sure, I didn't mention this, make sure you put locks on all of the holes on the bag, just so there's no issues with being able to like pry it open or having any sort of like gap. Once the bag's closed up, they send it off, and sometimes they'll let you know to just wait like 10 or 15 minutes just to make sure that the bag is cleared and goes through just fine. But I haven't had to come back. I haven't had them have to like open it up and inspect anything in front of me. So it's been a fairly easy process, but just make sure you know the rules ahead of time and you are following all of that just to make sure it's a easy, painless process, because it's not fun, especially if you're running late for a flight. You don't want to have to be stopped and take up more time. Now, once you get to your destination, and to pick up your bag, it honestly could come in a couple different places, which stresses me out all the time. But because I've had my bag come through either the oversized bag check area, it's come through just like to the office, and I had to pick it up there, or I've had it just come on the normal like carousel. So you really don't know where it's going to end up, which it always stresses me out, because when you're waiting for a bag with a firearm, you want to make sure that you grab it, right? So that always stresses me out, but just know, like, it may come up from one of those three places. My dog's here. But if it does come through, I think like the office, maybe even the bag, like the oversized bag area. No, I think it's just mainly the office. They might have you like show your ID. I guess I have had it in the oversized bag area too. You just show your ID, but obviously if it's on the normal carousel, you just grab it. So, but anyway, it could be in any of those three places. So just make sure you're checking all those places. If it is your first time flying, then it may seem like it is a lot of rules and a lot of little things you have to be aware of. Just make sure you're following all those rules and looking at them ahead of time. It does take a little bit of planning, but it shouldn't be too bad. Especially after your first time, you'll see, like, you'll find what works for you, and you'll find your bag setup that's going to be best for you, and it should be pretty easy. But if you do have any additional questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll try to answer as many as I can. But yeah, and if you did like this episode, make sure you do like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, guys. And before I leave, I do want to shout out a quick sponsor of mine, Modern Warriors. They have all of your tactical needs, so go check them out. I'm going to put a link down below and my code down below. So make sure you use that code if you do end up purchasing anything, but go check them out. Thanks.